What's up, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 263. I'm not live on this subathon anymore.
Yay, finally, for the first time in like a month.
That's all right. Yeah, we went 29 days. I still haven't changed the sign. I should probably remember to do that.
Yeah.
I was gonna before we recorded, and then I got distracted, and then I wasn't able to take a shower, and then everything's just been bad since then. I'll do that after this and before I record Run the North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how if I accidentally sleep in or something like that and I get up in the morning and don't get to take my shower, it just ruins the rest of the day.
Yeah, right? Luckily, I'm still going to get to. I just had to do this foist. This just had to be foist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's annoying. I don't know. I don't feel like I have that much to talk about, but also I feel like you have something to talk about.
No, me?
We all judged you a little bit, but we thought it was really funny. Not for what happened, just the not texting me. The deciding Twitch chat was the place to announce that. We all thought it was really funny. But also we're like, that's an interesting choice on how to do that. But we will I'm just going to keep delaying that because it's funnier this way. We'll talk about that shortly.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I just want everybody to know that it was my girlfriend's idea, just so everybody knows.
Oh, to say it in Twitch chat? Mm-hmm. Oh, I cannot wait to have this conversation. We will get there in a second. But other than the big news, how's your week been?
It's been fairly busy.
Yeah, bro, had to fight a fire yesterday.
Yeah, had a fire yesterday. That was
the one over by the big town over Dale, or was there a second fire somewhere not over Dale?
No, there was just one big one. But the wind was blowing so hard that it was pushing smoke along the surface of the ground. So people like 30 miles away were reporting fires like that weren't in the area of them. Yeah. It was just the smoke from the one fire, but the wind was blowing 60 plus mile an hour.
The wind is fucking annoying right now.
Right? It's supposed to do this for another 2 days.
Ugh. I hate it here.
I know. I hate the fact that I thought I had till at least, May or June before I would have to fight fire. I was wrong. And I
would say you got to assume you're going to be wrong with that, 'cause some idiot's going to set their house on fire or their meth lab.
Yeah. But that's different fire. I'm talking wildland fires.
Yeah.
But it's a weird feeling when you're out there fighting fire and you're freezing your ass off.
Yeah.
Because during the day it wasn't too bad. But once it got dark, with the wind and it being dark, it got really cold really fast. You're just out there in a long sleeve shirt and thin pants pretty much.
Yeah.
So Nomexes aren't that warm. Luckily for me, I was smart and went, it's probably going to get cold later. So I grabbed my bunker jacket.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. But there was a couple other guys that did not grab their bunker jacket and they kind of froze.
I bet. It's been not warm.
Yeah. Yeah. I really didn't participate much in it, so.
Bro's not a participant.
Well, I had to
he just supervised.
I had to drive from the town to where I D&D in.
Yeah.
And then I had to wait for somebody to get there or to go out in the first place, and so Cody ended up on the fire mostly. I didn't do much. They for the most part, luckily, I don't know how they did. Well, luckily, the fire burned into an area that was super grazed, and so the vegetation wasn't as thick. And then it hit a creek bottom that was sandy, and there wasn't much vegetation, so they were able to get control of it. So that was good.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. Still annoying having to fight fire in February. There's supposed to be snow on the ground and wet and not have to worry about fires, but no.
I mean, there
It's got to
was
be
snow on the ground
65
like
degrees.
3 days ago.
Yeah, but now it's got to be 65 degrees with a 60-mile-an-hour wind.
Probably your fault if we're honest.
You're right. Absolutely.
See, Chad, I know. He just officially admitted
You know,
to it. FBI, get him.
I blame Galaxy.
Well, you know what? That's probably fair.
She claims to light fires all the time, so
Actually, no, she just wants arson to happen, and we all claim that she likes to light fires. If we're honest, we got to be honest.
I did say I have a leprechaun chasing her around to put out all her fires, so
This is true. You did say this. It doesn't mean it's
She
accurate,
didn't
but it
say
was
no.
said.
She didn't deny it, so I'm just saying.
She didn't deny the leprechaun.
Yes, indeed.
Indubitably. Sorry. I am currently distracted looking at shoes. Shocking, I know.
This guy in his shoes.
True. Hey man, I like a good shoe. Fucking sue me.
I will. I'll sue you for all $12 that you're worth.
I was gonna say, actually, I think you'll go in debt. Just in general.
I won't make the money back that it costs to buy a lawyer.
Right? Yeah. 100%. It's not worth it. It's not worth suing me.
I'll be my own lawyer.
Well, then you'll just lose.
No, I'd win.
I promise you wouldn't.
Your Honor, I'm suing him for all of his assets just cuz. And he'd go, guilty.
Well, no, that's just not how any of that works. I don't think guilty is on the docket there, man. That's not what's happening here.
In the case of Geek versus Wunder, we side with Wunder.
Nobody would side with
assets. They'll all side with me.
I don't have any assets. Oh yeah, the Powerpuff Girls shoes. I still want to buy those, but altogether it's like $750 to get all 3 pairs. That's tough. Tonight for Run the North, we're doing we should probably do this for a Scuffed As episode one day, but normally we just end up doing these while it's live, but maybe one day I'll remember to post on Twitter, because we're doing a mailbag for Run the North, so we just let Twitter ask us questions, and that's all we're going to do. Because, dude, what the fuck are we supposed to be talking about? Football season just ended. None of us have really had time to scout anybody, like, at a real level.
College-wise?
Yeah, like, we haven't fully gotten into that. Like, there's not that much news happening. What the fuck are we supposed to talk about? Both the NBA and NHL have taken a break for the last week because of the All-Star games. Like, there is nothing.
I feel like as far as college prospects go for football, I feel like there's not really, like, there is some talent, not saying that, but I'm just saying it's kind of meh as far as the draft class
I can't
goes.
answer that. I refuse to say because I have to look. I have to start watching before I'm willing to say anything.
Right.
I did see a really fucking dumb tweet earlier that is insane to me. I'm not even trying to be like... I'm not hating on religion here. I'm hating on some psychotic people. People who mocked God and later died. This guy mocked God when he was 20 and died at 76. I don't think that has anything to do with what you think it does. I think that's just a normal human lifespan. Or this, well, they said God didn't exist and then they got cancer. It's like, yeah, there's like a solid like 60% chance you get cancer. That's just how life works.
That's just how our diet works too.
Well, it's just life, man. You can do everything right and just get cancer. It doesn't matter.
Right?
It's just, but like,
And
just
then
reading through this list is fucking ridiculous,
and
dude.
then Jim over there that's been smoking 14 packs of cigarettes a day for since he was born and lives to a ripe old age of 106. It's that living on pure fucking hatred for the world just that fuels him so he refuses to die.
But it's just one of those things. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. This isn't how this works at all.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
I would believe it if all of them were like, yeah, they spoke bad against God and that night were found dead. It's like, see, maybe. Okay. But like, yeah, 50 years later, it's like, maybe that had nothing to do with that.
Right.
Actually.
It's kind of like that comedian, that one comedian chick or whatever that was bragging about, I think she was talking about like COVID shots and booster shots or whatever. And then she was like, yep, see, obviously I'm God's favorite or something like that. And just 4 seconds later, boom, collapses. Now,
Better.
there was an obvious, medical reason that she collapsed.
Well, sure, but also,
but
dumbass.
just the timing of it was just like you couldn't have timed it better. So
that was the most nuh-uh I've ever heard.
it was so like timed that people thought she was joking. They thought it was part of the skit. I'm like, if I was there, I'd have known it was not a skit because the way her fucking head bounced off the stage, I'm like, she is not faking. She had to lay there for like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds for poor people are like, I think she died.
Oh my God. I can't. I don't want to go full politics here. I just looked at Twitter. You know, the Elon thing where every federal employee needs to send me specifically an email about everything you do, and if you don't, you're fired. First of all, Elon, that's not how it works. But second of all, if you're so worried about government efficiency, you do realize how inefficient it is to ask everyone to send in an email about what they're... Oh, actually, you don't understand anything about inefficiencies or running anything because you don't actually do anything and never have. You've constantly bought businesses and taken credit for it. I'm sorry. You, just like the other guy, aren't a successful businessman. You were just born rich and spent your money mostly smartly. Congrats. You bought businesses and just let the people who created them continue to run them.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Or paid other people that are smarter than you
to
run them.
Like, my God, dude, this is stupid. That's so... How are you going to sort through all those emails, Elon? He's like, well, I just need the email because that just shows you're at least listening. It's like, no, it doesn't. And I'm sorry. Multiple actual important people in the government, not just some guy who was handed a job just because, have said, don't respond to that email. The Secretary of Defense said, don't respond. That's all I need to know. I'm not responding. Fire me. See how well that works. Unions exist. The court is going to rule against Elon in every one of these. And the entire thing with Doge so far, I don't know if you've noticed, but everything that he's shut down or revoked funds from, well, I know he can't do it. He just tells Trump and Trump does it. We get it. President Elon and the First Lady Donald Trump, apparently. That's what we're doing now. Elon just makes all the decisions. I don't understand. But why is everything he's revoked funds from one of the branches of government going after one of his businesses for being shitty? I'm sorry, this isn't looking out for the American people. It's lining his own pockets, and you're all falling for it because you're the dumbest people to ever exist. That's it. I don't care.
Right.
I'm upset.
I mean,
every time I look at Twitter, he says something, and it drives me nuts.
I am not against the idea of having like a Department of Efficiency type thing to oversee our government.
Sure.
But I don't think Elon Musk is the guy.
No.
He has way too much conflict of interest.
That, and just listen to like some of the things he says and does about, like, you can tell he's not looking out for the average taxpayer. He's looking out for himself.
Right.
and
I
his
mean, if they want
billionaire
to cut me,
buddies.
I mean, if they end up cutting me a $5,000 check, I would just, I'll take my little form of socialism. Thanks.
I'm still gonna complain because, like, I don't know. I don't really like that you're firing like everybody that works for like our national park services and shit. That's not cool. I get it. We're just gonna not have national parks and we're gonna give all that land to shitty businesses and destroy them. This is America.
Right.
I understand, but like, I don't understand. That's awful, and I hate it. I I
Right.
I don't know. Everything is bad. All right. We should probably be done with that, but I'm over it.
Yeah, that's okay. You haven't ranted about the shitty government for a while, so we're
No,
just gonna
me
let
and you
it.
just haven't spent any time not on the internet,
Yeah, I have. You know, I got other things I got to worry about now, other than you
especially
know,
now.
yeah.
Well,
But
except all of this really does matter, especially,
right,
I
it
would
still
say,
matters. But
especially now. The issue is there's
right,
nothing either one of us can actually do to fix it other than
exactly.
keep
So
speaking about it. And I just don't use, I'm just too bad at like actually talking to like voice my concerns out loud here.
right.
That's why half the
I
time
mean,
I'm just sharing the things I agree with. It's like, no, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm just bad at saying it that way.
right. So the thing I've been more interested in is, have you heard about like the 50% tax cut on property taxes in Wyoming? Have you heard about that bill?
No.
So there was a bill that was introduced by the
Wait, is this the old one that we voted on? There was a
no,
property tax thing that we voted on that was actually really bad.
yeah, no,
But
no. This is a totally different thing.
okay. Just sorry,
Um,
just checking for, you know.
yeah, just yeah, I know you're clarifying.
Yep.
But this is a totally different thing.
Okay.
So this would be a 50% property tax cut
Okay.
um, for all of Wyoming.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm fine with cutting taxes. Whatever.
Sure, but what's going to
You know,
replace them? Because there's going to be
that's
a
the
money
problem.
vacuum there. Yep.
That's the problem. There's a program in Wyoming that's called the backfill program, and basically all that backfill money goes towards funding your police departments, your fire departments, your EMS, all that.
Yep.
So this bill won't hurt um, big city fire departments like Cheyenne, Laramie, Casper,
Yeah.
because they all get their separate funding, so they'll be fine. What it does hurt is all of your smaller fire departments, like the ones that we have around here, and people don't realize how many small fire departments exist in small towns that are extremely important, especially when big things pop off, like the big fire we had around here not too long ago. Um, but basically, you cut that backfill, the small fire departments they go away. They lose their
Yeah.
funding. We can't get new equipment. We can't get new vehicles. We can't get anything new, and we go away. Basically, we cannot exist without the backfill stuff. Um. So anyway, um, Cody and a whole bunch of volunteer fire department members went down to Cheyenne to protest the bill when it was being laid out for discussion. Um, Before the vote on the bill. And so basically, they all showed up and talked with our, you know, government
Yeah.
guru that exists in Cheyenne, and voiced their concerns about this bill. And it's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, kind of cool. They were recognized. Each person that was there, they got their names and where they were from, and they did a roll call basically, and they'd announce your name, and from this area, and they'd stand up and you know kind of stand up and just wave and then sit back down, so they were recognized, so that was cool. um but they did bring attention because it was kind of getting rid of this backfill program was kind of one of those things they were just kind of sweeping under the rug and hoping nobody noticed, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And we noticed, and we brought light to the problem, and so now all of these, you know, legislators and people that are voting on the bill are did not, you know, just because you're a politician doesn't mean you know what's going on with these bills. So you just kind of hear things and they vote, and doesn't mean they actually know what the hell's in the bill.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you know, this bill that was supposed to just be unanimously passed is now conflicted, and it's being, you know, now they're basically going back and forth on resolutions for the bill. They're still trying to pass it, but they're trying to. They're concerned about the idea of all of these small fire departments not existing anymore. And this was posted on Facebook, and this is what drives me up a wall. People are so ignorant, because one of there's a couple of comments that got me the most. One of them was, you know, one of them was, oh, look at all these fire department guys and police guys, and obviously we don't need them because they're here protesting, so that just means that they don't have enough to do. That was one comment. Drove me fucking crazy. And then the next comment was, oh, they're just upset because they're losing money out of their pockets, their paychecks. They're just upset because they're losing their paychecks. We're volunteer, jackass.
Yeah.
We don't make any money. We volunteer our time to come put your fucking house out or save you from dying.
Yeah.
We don't get paid to do that. We volunteer. That's why it's called volunteer. The only thing the backfill money goes to is equipment. Keeping our equipment updated so that we don't die, saving you.
Yeah.
But
speaking of
just
dumb things that got passed or were getting passed in Wyoming, they passed a bill in Wyoming banning compelled usage of preferred pronouns. What I love is the chairman of Wyoming's House of Representatives. They invited people to come talk about it, and some lady joined in through a Zoom call to talk to him, and she's like, yes, hello, Madam Chairman, and he's like, no, it's Mr. Chairman, and yeah, Madam Chairman, I don't really care, because you're banning the use of your preferred pronoun. I get to say what I want. It's fun. I love malicious compliance. It is my favorite thing. I watched that video for like 20 minutes. I was so happy. He was getting so angry, and I was so happy. Like, dude, it's not that hard to just be like, oh, you prefer to be called whatever. Cool, simple, done. Let's move on. Now,
right.
I think I also understand people forget things. People just say things sometimes. I think you can tell when there's malicious intent behind it or not. Right. That is a pretty obvious thing to most people. So, like, I understand things, but, like, it's not that hard to just treat people like humans.
Yeah, like, unfortunately.
I don't prefer to be called my real name. That's why, like, everybody calls me Geek. That's just what happens.
Yeah. But, you know, what sucks is the state of Wyoming has been overtaken by the Freedom Caucus.
Yeah,
And basically, they're just your extreme right, extremist Republican guys. Yeah. And I hate them just as much as I hate your extreme left.
Sure.
Guys. So, I don't know. They're pissing me off because they're part of the people that came up with this 50% reduction in property tax bill.
Dude, it's almost as bad as the one. Okay, this is worse because it's taking away funding from those things. But just in general, it's almost as bad as that idea they had to create like a mileage tax where you would be taxed per mile you drive in a state where you have to drive 60 miles to get to a fucking grocery store. That's
right?
not
And,
okay.
and the whole reason they wanted to do it was so that, you know, like Teslas and electric cars weren't getting out of fucking taxes.
Except they're still
And
paying
I'm like,
taxes on their fucking electricity,
right,
especially
but
when they use like a supercharger to do it instead of like
right,
at their house.
yep, but
Uh, but also
yeah,
the answer to if you want more tax money in this state, just legalize weed,
like
man.
marijuana,
Just do it.
yeah,
Boom. There's so much extra money. People will pay that tax to not go to prison, I promise. They'll pay it happily. I would almost bet they'll turn in the people illegally selling weed so it doesn't cause them problems anymore.
mm-hmm.
It's going to be better for literally everybody.
Yeah,
I don't know. Who does it hurt? Other than the argument of like it hurts the same people like drinking hurts if they're drinking and driving, which is valid. Because
right,
yeah, well, what if you get high and drive? Well, that's just as illegal as getting
mm-hmm.
drunk and driving. So maybe our, police should do that. I almost dropped my drink. I caught it though.
But what's
And
funny
this is why I use cups with lids.
Yeah, right. But what's funny is that I did make one comment to a person because they were one of the people that were like, "Oh, why would these fire department guys not want more money in their pockets by not paying as much in property tax and blah blah blah?" And that's the one person I commented to, and I said, "Okay, we get money, sure, we save money on property tax, but guess what? All your small fire departments go away." I knew where this person lived. I know them personally. I said, and that I was like, they just go away. Do you think that's a good idea? And they're like, well, we got this town not too far away, and this town, they'll be able to take over the workload. I'm like, some of those towns are 30, 40, 50 minutes away. And by that time, your home is completely gone, or you're dead. That's it. Plus, I don't think you guys understand, if you do not have a fire department, an active fire department within 20 miles of you, your insurance will quadruple, or you can't get insurance at all for your house. So are you really going to save money there?
No.
No.
Yeah.
So
No, it's
people don't think about that.
people don't think about anything.
They don't understand. It's like yes, I am all for, paying less to government. But when it's detrimental to literally existences that you have to have in order to have a home or have insurance for your home, I'd much rather have somebody that's medically trained within 5 minutes of me versus 30 plus minutes. It could be something as simple as, oh, you're diabetic, or you're low blood sugar or something like that, or low blood pressure, and you got heart problems or something like that. That could have easily been saved, but couldn't, or died because nobody was able to get to them in time. That was medically trained. Sometimes all you need is a little sugar to save your life. Not everybody's medically trained to know that, hey, this person's this, and this, and they need sugar to live, or vice versa. It's just, I can't believe how people's sights are about that far from their nose, and they can't see anything else past that.
Yeah.
But luckily, we brought enough attention to it. There is still a lot of smart people around, and they've gone, wait a minute, we didn't realize this is how detrimental this could be to the fire departments. We didn't know that that's what this backfill program was. We want to reconsider. We withdraw our vote for this bill, and we want to have resolutions to, maybe in order to pass this bill, they have to pass another bill that specifically funds your fire departments.
Yeah.
Win-win. You know, the state of Wyoming has done nothing for the last 5 years on the radio but brag about how, oh, financially they're doing better than most states, and well, they got all this extra funding that they're saving for a rainy day. Well, where is it?
Yeah.
Or are you just blowing smoke up everybody's ass?
Yeah. Normally that. Yeah. Trying to think. I think there was something else I wanted to talk about other than the big thing, because we got to keep pushing that to the end. We gotta increase that watch time, you know?
Right.
Oh, dude, I found this Twitter account that's just called like Nostalgia Folder, and they're just posting pictures of shit like from our childhood. It is depressing.
Saddening.
Yeah, it's like the old Disney Channel screens, like in between shows, but it's all the Halloween ones. Ugh, good times. Or I don't know if you remember this, but the KFC Guitar Hero meal from 2009 had like the little chicken sandwich and the 3 pieces of chicken, potato wedges, mac and cheese, a drink in the cool Guitar Hero box.
Right.
You remember when companies did collabs that actually didn't suck? Did you see the most recent McDonald's meal?
I did not know.
It's the Angel Reese meal, and it's like, oh shit. If I remember correctly, it's just like a double or a quarter pounder fries and a drink. It's like, that's not special. It's like, even if you don't change much, like just add a cool box, do something cool. Because KFC used to have cool. I want to look at all the old collab meals because they did a lot of them. Like, obviously, there was the KFC Guitar Hero one. God, where it be? God, oh my God, I forget. Not only, so you got the 3 pieces of chicken, the sandwich, the biscuit, the mac and cheese, the potato wedges, and the drink. It was $6.99.
That's crazy.
Man.
Every time I go to a fast food,
it was the old kids meals from KFC that were so sick, 'cause they came in the little like laptop looking box. You remember? It would like fold up, your food was in there. And they did collabs with the laptop box, because then there would be like they did a VeggieTales one once. Yeah, the kids laptop meal. Oh, they did a Land Before Time one. I remember these. I do. God, we're old.
Yep.
And then, apparently Wingstop released new tenders today. What kind? Do we got to make a trip to Cheyenne?
I do need to make a trip to Cheyenne. So,
do you know when? Or do you do you know? Are you going for like something work related, or are you just going?
No, I just need to go.
Oh, interesting.
I just need to find time to go too, because in March I'm going to be gone for a week at least.
Why?
Going down to see my girlfriend's parents.
Oh, I know you were planning to go up on a weekend. I didn't know you were staying for a week.
Well, that was a pre-information that we found out, so we decided we needed to spend a little extra time with the family.
Yeah, you know what? All right, fair enough.
If that makes any sense.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody else, some people already know, and they're like, "Yep, that makes sense." And some people are like, "Huh?
Yeah. What do you mean?
What kind of information?"
Yeah.
Oh, I'm way less excited. No, they have one new flavor, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just go for some wings and so. You remember that Wingstop Ranch? I'm gonna go just for Wingstop Ranch.
Right.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
But the reason I would like to go to Cheyenne would be,
groceries.
No.
Oh.
Ring shopping.
Yeah. I guess that is a need?
Not
No.
necessarily to buy something, but I would like. So we basically, my girlfriend and I, in the town to the east of us, the big one.
Yep.
Um, we went and looked at rings and stuff because I'm trying to get an idea of what she likes, what she doesn't like,
Yeah.
and we've just come to the conclusion that I have good taste, and
Nice.
if I pick something out that I like, it she's probably gonna like it too. Um, but she found one that she really liked, but that place that's uh kind of right there in the fucking Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
That place is where the ring's at, and they have that ring listed at like almost $5,000.
Ooh. Yeah, I
It's a
wonder
gold
you've got
ring.
great taste.
It's a gold ring that's got like, um, it's got diamonds and it's gold. But the thing is like it's 50% off on the store.
Yeah. Oh, so it's actually 10
But
grand?
no,
Oh.
no. So
Oh, okay.
I'm
So it's
looking
like
at like,
$2,500. Okay.
yes, yeah, at
Fuck.
least. So actually, I think it's gonna be like third after it was all said and done was like 29
Fuck
something.
that. New
And
question.
I'm like,
Real quick. Is your
okay.
girlfriend a weirdo? Or are you a weirdo in either context? Are you guys like requiring it to be like a real, like lab grown diamonds are real diamonds, but like a real, I need a child to have died finding this for me? Or are you cool with like spending a quarter of the money and just getting a lab grown diamond because it's the same fucking thing?
Right. So lab
And
grown is
you know,
fine.
less
You already told
less
me.
deadly to humans, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Just I
No.
wanted to check.
Lab
curious.
grown is fine. She
Yeah.
has told me that lab grown is fine. Because they're literally just diamonds. But
Yep. Same thing.
the thing about it is, like, lab grown diamonds are becoming just as expensive.
That's
Like,
dumb.
not quite,
That's
but
dumb.
like, literally, I looked at a lab grown diamond at the place in the mall.
Yeah.
And there was two rings that were similar. They were similar size, shape, design. One was lab grown, and one was natural diamond. And the lab grown one was only like $100 less than. So the regular one was like
Weird.
$1,700, like 1728, I think is what it was, and the natural or the lab grown was 16. I think it was like 1610 or something.
So Wonder, I think me and you just need to make a plan and go to Cheyenne.
But that's my thing. I need to go to Cheyenne because there's much bigger.
There's a better chance of it not
breweries.
being shitty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because these stores to the east of us, they have to make 2, 3, 4 sales a day with marked up prices in order to even exist
Right.
where they exist.
Yeah.
So I know why they're
Yeah.
why they're expensive because they have to be in order to exist. And
It's
the
just
people
like
go,
why we go to our
that's why it's 40% off. But
we go to our local grocery stores and like we understand that it's more expensive than driving soup to that bigger town to the east. But it's like you save gas money and like you're paying for the smaller local store. So people are okay with that sometimes.
right.
Depends on how many groceries I need.
Well, it don't matter now because you got corporations come in, buy the store, and then the town pisses them off, so then they shut down the store and peace out.
Yeah, well, deserved, I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
Maybe the store just shouldn't be stupid. I stand by there is no reason they should be, like, if they're actually operating at a loss like that, there's no reason they should be. That's just mismanagement. That means you don't understand how to order product. Because that
Right.
means you're just stocking and throwing out a bunch of shit that nobody around here wants.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand if there's a particular like customer who likes a particular thing, maybe keep that around if they actually buy a decent enough amount of it. But if they're coming in once every 2 months and buying it, it's not worth it. If they're coming in more
Right.
than once a week or at least once a week, sure. Like they stocked, the reason I'm sad about that store closing, they stocked the coffee creamer I like, and they were like the only place around here.
Right.
And they were just going to keep,
Right.
even if they got rid of the other SKUs, they were going to keep that one because I drink enough coffee that they can
Mhm.
afford to keep that in the store because I go get it.
Right. Yeah, I think it's shitty both ways.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Honestly,
it
what
sucks
happened?
all the way around. I
Like,
just think I think they all need to learn to be adults and go to a fucking table and have a conversation.
right, which they kind of did
Not really.
at a town meeting, but
Well, at a town, but it wasn't just that. It was at a town meeting where then the store put up an ultimatum: either you give me what I want and say fuck everybody else, or I close down. That's not being an adult and going to a table. That's
exactly.
being a whiny little bitch. And
Right.
fuck you, I
And
guess.
and
And
see, here's my problem with it. It's they didn't expect to have this deal done before they came to the town. They bought that store knowing damn good and well that it was in the hole. That's why the store was selling in the first place.
right,
They bought that expecting to have to sell what they had in order to make a profit and be a successful store.
yeah,
They did not know or bank on a liquor license.
yep,
And then that was just something that was an opportunity that presented itself. And they went, oh, that'd be a really good thing to help with sales. The issue is, I don't think this person even actually intended on selling alcohol. It just extremely boosts a store's price when you sell it. So I think they honestly wanted to get the liquor license to the store, and then they could resell the building with the liquor license for more than what they bought it for.
yes, 100%.
I think that was the whole plan. So they didn't actually, by doing that, they might have kept the store open,
Right.
you know, but because that asshole didn't get what he wanted, because there's other businesses that bank on the idea of having packaged liquor
Yeah.
sold at their establishments to exist, to keep going.
Yeah.
So then, of course, if I'm a business owner or a bar owner there and I hear this, I'm going to be like, hey, I don't want this. This is going to drastically tank our package sales, which we rely on.
That same fight happened in the other town when the gas station tried to get packaged liquor, and then they got it.
Right,
and
right.
The bar
Right.
is still probably going to end up shut down.
Right. But that's the thing though. I understand why the businesses did what they did.
Yes.
So they basically they came to the table and said, "Hey, we're concerned about this." And then the other person's response that bought the store was basically, "Oh, you either give it to us or we're shutting the store down. Fuck you and fuck all your employees."
Yeah.
That's not very diplomatic, if you ask me.
No.
That's a very Trump way to go about things.
Well, look at who did it.
But anyway, yeah, I think it was kind of just a shitty deal all the way around. But there's the thing: they didn't even say no.
Right. They just said, "Can we reconvene when there's more townspeople here to have this discussion?"
Right. I like that idea. It's like, hey, we have some problems. Both sides have a predicament. We should bring in the townsfolks to help. If the town wants the store to have it because of cheaper prices, then we'll go that way. If not, then we'll go the other way. It wasn't even they didn't even tell him no. They didn't even say that no, we're not going to give you the license. It was literally, we want to be more democratic about this. And the guy even said during the meeting, "Oh, well, if I don't get it within, 15 to 30 days, then I'm shutting the store down."
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Okay, well then we're gonna benchmark this thing till the next meeting, which is the following Tuesday." And the guy the next day just went out, threw a temper tantrum, slapped a "we're closed" sign, packed up all the shit out of the store and sent it back to South Dakota.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, what a bitch.
Right.
What a bitch. Imagine having such a fragile ego to just fuck so many people over like that, just because you're throwing it. You didn't get your way.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it probably would have went his way.
Yeah.
Because people all the bars have done is monopolize and have increased their prices quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because they have that power. Because there's nobody else. There's all these bars are kind of in cahoots with each other. They all agree, okay, this should be about this amount price, or this, let's mark it up this amount, and we all sell equal amounts. People just basically buy it where they like to hang out the most.
Yeah.
By a grocery store coming in, adds competition. They get it probably cheaper prices, and it's more convenient for people to just grab shit while they're getting groceries.
Yep.
And so
that is the thing. They would have sided
cheaper.
with him, and now it's almost a guarantee that if they go back for this, they will not side with him.
The people will say, "You get the fuck out of our town.
Yep.
Just get out. We will wait for someone else to buy that business." And it sucks because so many jobs were lost. But if you are not going to be part of the community, and you're going to outcast us over this that wasn't even a thing for you to begin with. It was just an opportunity that arose for you, and we had an issue with it, and you're not going to be cordial with us? Fuck you. Get out.
Yep.
Get out of our town. I don't blame them for being that way.
Nope.
But there is a lot of people that are pissed off in that town because, they should have came to a decision. I'm like, I think they did a good thing.
Yeah.
By being more democratic. They should open up to this. It's just like any bill. I think the people that live there should have a voice on what gets passed.
Yep.
And where things go.
And it wasn't even like, the people were against it. Again, it was literally like the second night of a blizzard, and just most people just couldn't make it there.
Right.
I wouldn't have left.
Right.
It was just let's wait 2 weeks and come back, reconvene, redecide.
I wonder how much less we would be in debt in this country if some of the American people got to look at some of these bills and be like, no, we really don't want this.
The issue is, okay. Number one, the issue is the bills are fucking stupid with just some of the things that they include just to include. But it then does kind of become a thing with that where like nothing would ever happen.
Right. But
it barely happens as is. And there's only, 300 people, let alone 300 million.
Right. I honestly think that there should be a limit to how much you could put into a single bill.
Sure. That's fair.
Like, okay, you're going to go pass this bill. You can only have 3 to 5 subjects on that bill. You can't just create a bill and the night before you're supposed to vote on it, drop 1,000-page fucking bill and expect people to go through it and go, oh, this is bullshit. We're not going to vote on this bill. And then they just slap a fancy title on the front to make it seem like it's going to help the American people when all it does is go to foreign countries and then turn around and come right back into politicians' pockets. The RNC and the DNC.
But
just a money laundering skill or fucking money laundering fucking scheme that they've created for both the Republicans and the Democratic Party where they pretend to hate each other, but really they're in the same fucking boat stealing American taxpayer money.
But there's also the thing, there's like the 4 people on each side who aren't that. And it's like, they're the people who, I don't know, like, there are the people who aren't that. I find so weird that they're the ones that get hated on the most by the American people. It's like,
well, it's because
like all of these people, they're like how much money they have, like what their net worth is public knowledge. So this whole, my favorite one has been lately, like AOC, the whole, she's become a millionaire. She's still like $150,000 in debt from college. No, she's not.
Right.
She has no money.
Yeah, that was
fucking morons.
Yeah.
She's there.
They're
much like a Bernie Sanders. She is there because she actually hates what's happening. You don't have to agree with her, but she's there just trying to change things. Will they ever? Probably not. But she's like, that's why she's there. I know Bernie has money now, but that just is what happens when you get donations for thousands of years.
They'll sit there and hate on AOC, but then never turn around and look at people like Nancy Pelosi, who,
it's like
has, or the Clintons, where they went from like nothing to all of a sudden in like a year they had fucking $30 million on a $250,000 a year salary.
Yeah. But, all right, Wunder. I think it's probably good enough. You can talk about your thing now.
Oh, Okay. Well,
The
for
reason
those of
he's
you that
looking for a ring.
yes, for those I was already looking for a ring anyway, but for those of
I
you
know.
that don't know yet, um, I recently found out via Friday, um, that I am going to be a baker.
I don't think that's
I have
it. Try
officially,
again.
I have officially put a bun in the oven, and we're expecting late October, early November. There will be
Oof. Ah.
there will be a new wonder in the world.
So are you trying to? So new question, because you're buying the ring. You're not trying to get married before then, are you?
No,
I didn't. I
no,
didn't think
it,
that was a thing either of you were gonna care about that much, but I also didn't know like maybe her family, like the weirdness of you gotta be
right.
married before.
But
Like I
it
didn't think you
the
two in particular
proposal,
cared, but
I may propose before then, but I don't
sure,
think the marriage is going to happen before.
cool. I was gonna say it'll be
But
really rude if you force me to fly home like a week after I
right,
move. I'd have to stab you.
yeah,
Well, or I
but
guess there's still the chance I just moved to Denver. That is still, we've talked about this. That's still on the table,
right,
but
right. Then it's just a 3 hour drive, you know.
right. I'd still have to be
But
like, all right, you have to come get me though, because I still don't have a car.
right, but um, anywho, yeah, she came in Friday, had a little gift,
Oh.
like a bag with the pink parchment paper,
Yeah.
party paper or whatever coming
Yeah.
out of it. She's like, I got a gift for you, and I was like, I swear to God, woman,
Oh
if
no.
there's a pregnancy test in there, I'm gonna freak out, you know. And
What was in
sure
there?
enough, I reach in there. First thing I pull out is little onesies and baby clothes, and I'm like, oh Lord. And I
Oh
turn,
fuck.
yep, there's a positive pregnancy test, and I was like, holy shit, I actually did it.
Yeah.
So there is a video out there, and it does not look like a very good video. I will admit that,
Oh.
because she filmed me, and I had already suspected,
Right. As you just said with the,
because
if there's a
because
pregnancy test in here, I'm a freak out.
the reason being is because she is awful at hiding shit from me. Like terrible. She can't even go like she has to buy a Christmas present the day before Christmas in order to maybe not tell me what it is before I open it.
Yeah.
Um so anyway, she had known since Tuesday. And she was
Oof.
just like all she wanted to do was tell me, but she didn't want to tell me until she was like she wanted to tell me in person. So she was just, you know, she would complain about being hungry, and I'm like, I'd make the joke, well, it's because you're, got that baby growing in you, and then she would like, well, what if I was,
I was
kind
gonna
of
say,
thing.
I think you just spoke it into existence, man.
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
you
she's been
caused
on birth
problems for
control for like,
multiple other reasons, but
yeah, but she's been on birth control for like a year and a half now, so um, we kind of just given up on the idea.
well, I
Like,
was gonna say, I get
my
it. Your
plan was
pullout
to
game
wait.
is weak, man. We understand.
Oh, it's actually really good. It's just we didn't care anymore. Um, because our plan was to make it till she graduated college.
Well, you
So
failed.
close enough. She
Close. Oh,
she
we
won't
were
even
talking
hardly be
about that.
showing
I
when
was gonna
she.
say she won't be showing by graduation.
Yeah,
Me and mom were talking about that. I was like,
yeah. So
they saved it,
it
I
got it.
guess.
It got close enough. We were like, "Fuck it, we don't care anymore. If it happened, it's happened." We were worried we weren't even going to be able to have kids in the first place because she's got underlying health issues that could make it hard for that to happen. So we were, there for a while. We were just kind of pretty sure we weren't even going to be able to have kids. And so to me, this is kind of a blessing. Um, it is possible.
Yeah.
So
Did you see Jedi's joke in my chat after you announced it?
I did not because I left shortly after that.
That if it's a boy, you need to name him either Iverson or Thren.
No,
You don't think
nope,
Thren Wonder's the one?
nope.
No, Iverson?
I have two names already if it's a boy, and then she has two girl names if it is a girl.
Well, let's hear
Um,
him.
also, there's a good possibility she may have twins
Oh, God.
because
I'm
twins
so
run in
glad
both
I'm
sides of
moving.
the family. Oh, you
So
don't want to
glad.
be
Oh, it's
Uncle Geek doesn't want to babysit?
well, that's a horrifying idea. Don't trust me to do that. I
Yeah,
forget
you'd be
to
fine.
feed myself, man. I would absolutely kill your kids, and not on
Yeah,
purpose.
they'll be able to feed themselves by the time they're like 8 months old.
Probably, my God.
They'll be
No,
feral.
that's the issue. Is I was talking about it. It's like they say your kids are like worse than you are. If they're worse than you, I might want to move to a different continent, actually. Uh,
Yeah, just think I'm creative. I've started my own army.
that's not
This is
good.
only the beginning.
Um,
This is a good thing. I can gang up on you finally.
nah.
All these kids running around with my ideals.
Yeah, getting your. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be kind today. I'll say it next week.
Okay.
um, but
But I don't know.
you
I'm
excited
excited.
or terrified? We're both.
I mean, I'm nervous. Just mostly, healthy. She is technically still a high risk pregnancy
Yep.
for with her health issues, but so I'm nervous about that part,
Yep.
and any underlying health issues that could be with the child.
Yep.
Um, so those are the things I'm worried about, not necessarily about being a dad, because I pretty much was a
I
dad
was gonna say,
for
I
a
think
while
that part, I
at a
think
young
you're fine
age.
with. I
So
think it's uh,
um,
time to find a
I don't know.
higher paying job again.
The funniest part, is the amount of people I've told so far, and the amount of them that were like, "What are you gonna do?" It's like, the fuck you mean? What am I gonna do? I'm 27
Right?
and I have a state job,
It
a
still
government
freaks me out
job.
a little, but that's just because I forget that we're old now.
Yeah,
Like when you told me initially, I was like, damn. And then I'm like, oh, right. That's like normal. Congrats.
I'm 20. I'm getting old to have children, honestly.
Right?
Like, I'm 27.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people my age have 6, 7 kids by now.
All right. I don't know about that.
I'm not kidding. And a few
you,
kids in my class.
well, yeah, but the idiots in your class don't count as most people.
Well,
We're
most people
not
I
going with
know.
most. There you go. That we can accept.
Yeah. But
Gonna say
anyway,
you could have.
so yeah, I'm, you know, I'm good. I knew my family was going to be fucking stoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're super excited. They're already fighting over dibs on who gets to babysit.
There you go. So you don't even
And,
need me. You have nieces, nephews,
yeah,
grandma, sister.
brother,
Yeah.
sister,
Oh, I didn't know if your
sister-in-law.
brother would fight over it just because he's got kids. Yeah. I don't need. We don't need to
Well,
babysit. We got kids.
sister-in-law mostly.
Yeah.
She wants to.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So great support system on my side of the family. I was a little nervous about her side of the family because they're pretty hardcore Catholic.
Right. That's why
But
I brought up what I
so
brought up earlier.
after we went and told my parents, we came back and we FaceTimed her mother,
Gotcha.
and she was like, "Mom," she's like, "Mom, I got something I have to tell you." And her mom goes, "You're pregnant." And she goes, she kind of chuckles and goes, "Yeah, I am." And her mom thought she was joking. And she's
Oh.
like, "Well, you're funny," and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "No, I'm serious, Mom." And Mom goes, "Don't do that to me, you know?" And then she's like, "No, Mom, she grabbed the little baby clothes and she goes, "Mom, I am serious. I am pregnant." And then her mom kind of sat there all quiet for a second. And then I think it dawned on her that she wasn't lying, wasn't joking. And then she was like, "Oh, well, oops." And then
Oops.
that's all she could say. And I was like, and then I replied with, "Well, I don't think there's, I don't really believe in oops in this situation." And so her mom was kind of just quiet, like super quiet, wasn't saying much. So I'm like starting to freak out. I'm like, "God damn it, woman, say something, you know?" And then she goes, "Well, I guess I really don't have much room to talk." Um, because she had a kid when she was, really young.
Yeah.
like really, really young, and then did what she thought was the best for the kid, which was put him up for adoption.
Sure.
And she was adopted by a really good family, and then now she's back in her, they're back in each other's lives
Yeah.
basically. So I mean, it worked out. Um, but so yeah, she's like, I can't really say anything, honestly. And so she's like, okay, well, you better call your grandparents, or call the great grandparents and tell them that the news or whatever. So then we called them, and they were kind of the same way. They were just like, well, are you okay? And stuff like that. And then after it's all said and done, it was like, okay, whatever. And we hung up the phone, and I was like, well, they didn't freak out. And she's like, yeah, I don't know how they feel about it. Well, I think they were just kind of in shock.
Yeah.
I think the most parental reaction came from her sister, who is the same age as my niece. So she's 17.
Okay.
And so she goes, because so like Aspen's sister was in the background, and she goes, what did she just say? And Aspen goes, yeah, Auntie Sissy, or Auntie Pookie. Auntie Pookie is what she called her, because she called her sister Pookie.
Sure.
She's like, Auntie Pookie. And then her sister goes, I can't deal with this right now. I can't do it. I can't deal with this. You are ridiculous. I cannot do this right now. I got to get ready for a concert. So she just leaves.
Yep, that's
she just dips. She was like, that was the most parental reaction out of everybody.
So you're saying my Twitch chat was second most supportive because everybody just said congrats. Well, I think mine was more. I thought you were fucking with me initially. That's because I mean you're like, you ready to be Uncle Geek, and I'm like, well, first of all, already am an uncle. Second of all, huh?
Yeah.
The fuck you mean?
So, yeah, Aspen was sitting right next to me when I typed that. It was her idea.
That's funny. Why was that her idea?
She's like, I want to see everybody's reaction.
Did you guys stay in long enough for me to like tell the call? So Anthony and Hero and Oh, you should have. They all were talking to you too.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I just had to wait for a break in the D&D to tell everybody.
So we had stuff we had to go do.
Gotcha.
And so we were here for about 5 minutes, and then we dipped.
Gotcha.
So.
But yeah.
It sadly didn't get to hear that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But I think all of her family was kind of in shock at first. And then once the shock wore off, they were super excited. They were like, they started texting like crazy. God, we need to get this. We need to get this. When are we going to have a baby shower? And blah, 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 So, and then Aspen, she's freaking out. She's like, oh, man, we got to buy this. We got to buy this. We got to buy this. And I'm like, hold your horses, Chica. We're not going to buy shit until we figure out all the bullshit our family's going to buy us. Like, we're not going to buy clothes. We're not going to buy strollers. We're not going to buy car seats. We're not going to buy any of that stuff until we know what we're going to need. So probably a month before this child pops out of you is going to be when we start going through and going, okay, this is what we really need. This is what we really need. Because our families, this being, for some of our families, probably the last grandchildren that they'll get to experience for a while. And for her side of the family, the first grandchildren and great-grandchildren that they get to experience are going to spoil the shit out of this kid. So I was like, don't buy anything until, we figure out what all we end up getting. Because we still got probably a baby shower for both families are going to want to have a baby shower and all this good stuff. So
yeah. Ugh.
So yeah.
Insane.
It's a wild time to be alive.
What was Cody's reaction?
Oh, Cody was actually the first person I told. Because I happened to be, I had to call him anyway. I was in the process of calling him when she brought in the gift. You know what I mean? So I called Cody and I was like, because he's got himself a little lady friend that he's been kind of trying to go out with and blah blah blah, And I asked him, I said, well, how's your lady friend doing, And he's like, oh, dude, fine. I don't know. She's, I think she likes me and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, you should hurry up and have kids with her so our children can go to school together. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I'm gonna be a daddy. He goes, Wunder, what are you gonna do?
The way you said Wunder
Cody.
sounded so much like Cody. Nothing else did, but just
exactly-
the way you said Wunder, that sounded like Cody.
That's exactly how he said it too.
Wunder.
What are you gonna do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I gonna do? He goes, you're gonna have a kid? I'm like, yeah, Cody, we're grown ass adults. That happens. He goes, I guess you're right.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, he was all
right.
excited. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have I was like, Uncle Cody. He's like, yeah, and I'm gonna give him candy when you're not looking, so he's all hyper for you. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna be the antagonist here. And
see, no, that'll just be me. The once a year when I come visit,
yeah,
I'll be the
and he'll
antagonist.
be like, yeah, Uncle Geek's on his way, and you know how his liberal ways are. Just nod and say yes.
All right.
And just agree with him for now, and he'll.
You say just agree with him for now, but like once you almost every time we like have a conversation and I actually explain what I'm talking about, you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Not in the just trying to agree way, like actually no, that's not bad. It's like, yeah, if you actually just listen instead of
Right. There's a lot of stuff that I agree with you on.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff where I was like, I just agree to disagree. Because I just I still have my own views, and
well, that's dumb.
Usually it's not.
Ooh,
usually it's on things that really don't matter. So.
Ugh. Oh, the Jaguars are just the worst team in football. Ugh. They hired Shane Waldron as their pass game coordinator. So Trevor Lawrence's career is over. Shane Waldron famously was the Bears offensive coordinator for the first 10 weeks last year. Congrats, Trevor Lawrence. You got Shane Waldron.
Trevor's sitting in a locker room bath.
He's got to be crying right now.
Crying himself. I was a great quarterback one. Then I got drafted by the Jaguars. That's what sucks. Be the best of your kind and get drafted by the shittiest team.
Yeah.
You're almost better off being a mediocre fucking quarterback and going to a good team.
Or getting a really stacked draft class with a really confusing team picking in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to be J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason everybody, every prospect was like, yeah, I kind of want to go to Minnesota. It's like, yeah, they have the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Jaden Daniels had a great rookie year. I don't know how that happened. Washington's new ownership really did change something. Insane. I love these Twitter posts sometimes that are just like, the worst she could say is no, and then it's a screenshot of a conversation somebody had.
I think I've seen this before.
This one is a picture of Beast Boy and Terra from Teen Titans, and it's just the caption, this could be us. And she replied, no. And by the way, I fucked someone to your playlist last night. Thanks. The guy's just like, you could have just left me on open. You didn't need to respond, man. That's tough. The worst she could say is no. That's just not true. There's so much worse.
Ow.
Ow is right. Oh, so we're really far into this, and I should probably get done because I need to go eat before I start Run the North in 15 minutes. Okay. I'm going to be late to Run the North probably, but it's fine. So I opened my TV to make sure it wasn't broken, set it up, watched a movie.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing I did was fire up Disney Plus because Encanto is super colorful and The color grading is great, and it's a perfect movie to test OLEDs. I think I convinced my mother that she needs to pay $1,500 for a TV because I turned on their TV and had them like side by side, and she's like, "Whoa!" It's like, yeah, this is why I
That's
did
funny.
this. I get it was a lot of money, but now you see, I'm so excited for my monitor that cost almost as much as that TV. So I bought it on sale for $800. Normally it's an $1,100 monitor, but it's also it's OLED. So it's, the really fancy screen like what's on. I don't know if it's on your phone. Your phone's old. Ugh. But like the really fancy screen like what's on my phone, and so instead of being backlit, each individual pixel lights itself. That's why you can get actual like pure black. But so it's OLED. It's not 4K. It's only 1440p, but because it's so small, that'll be fine. So small. It's big for a monitor, but small in comparison to a TV. So it's only 1440p. But it's got a refresh rate of 480 meg. Like I can do 480 frames a second. I don't even. I like I said, my plan is to try to blow up my computer with this monitor. Every game just fucking cranked. All of them. It's gonna look so good. I'm so excited. I'm sad that it's just over there in a box until I move.
Right.
Yeah. My room is so full of boxes right now. It's a little ridiculous. I gotta go buy a bunch of vacuum seal bags before I move so I can like vacuum seal all my clothes so they don't take up so much space. Especially all these goddamned jerseys. I got a lot of jerseys. The hell are you doing?
Oh, I'm going through and doing some drafting.
Draft?
Setting up my drafts here for college football.
Oh, your recruiting stuff, I see.
Yeah. Yippers.
All right. Oh. I was really hoping to find more. Well, that one's fun. You matched with Kelsey on October 1st, 2015. Her first message, "You're ugly." Guy just replies with a sad face emoji, and then she just goes, "It's okay, I'll fuck you anyway." He replies, what a roller coaster of emotions I just went through." You're
ugly, but
ugly.
at least I'll still fuck.
Damn. I just love it. You're ugly. It's like, why is that your first why'd you even match then? What the fuck? Damn.
That is funny.
The worst she can say is no. That's just not true. That is just never true. That is like the second best thing she can say.
Oh man.
That's tough. All right, that should probably be enough. We made an
Sounds good to
episode.
me.
I'm gonna title this episode like "A New Wonder" and just see who understands it based on
It's a whole new wonder.
a whole new wonder. There you go. But all right, you got anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it.
Soon to be parent man. Damn. We don't have time to play video games now. Imagine how much worse that's about to get. My God.
I'm about to be home all the time. Because I'm definitely not doing pool league and I'm definitely not doing dart league.
You're not going to do darts next year now?
Nope. Nope. The only thing I might do is a little bit of volleyball. That's about it.
Trash. Well,
Not just because
I guess
it's
I
an
kind of
active
understand
thing.
why you're not doing darts though. Even
Yeah.
though you didn't start it with me, it's just more of a.
Yeah,
You had
well,
talked about not doing it once I decided to move, anyways. So
I'd rather be home with the kiddo and play video games and stuff like that than be at a bar.
yeah,
You know.
we gotta. Yeah, I want to figure out a couple more video ideas for before I move.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this the other day. I never take pictures like with you specifically.
Hmm.
I was like, it was funny
Right.
because I remember we took one together in Vegas,
Yep.
but we took it on Snapchat, so neither of us have that picture.
True.
Which
Right.
has to be the funniest thing. Because yeah, while there are videos of us that exist, there are zero pictures. If YouTube shuts down, there is no proof we knew each other.
Right.
None. Very funny. But all right. Well, I guess that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.